A very good evening to you and welcome. Thank you so much for joining us on the news tonight. You are on Skyfall TV.
Remember to send in your comments and keep the conversation lively on our social media platforms as well as on our SMS line 22025. Now on the headlines tonight.
Clergy calls on Azimio leaders to suspend demonstrations.
Government defends police in killing of suspected robbers.
And Azimio supporters engage in mock protests ahead of Monday demonstrations. Welcome, my name is Emmanuel Mulei.
And I am Sarah Kangethe.
Religious leaders are now appealing to President William Ruto to embrace dialogue with the opposition leader Raila Odinga for the benefit of the nation. Led by the Bishop of the Catholic Church Diocese of Mombasa, Bishop Martin Kivuva, the clerics urged the Kenya Kwanza administration to focus on solving the problems bedeviling the country in order to relieve Kenyans of the difficult economic situation.
The narratives being driven by political actors are weakening the basic commitment and submission to the Constitution and laws of Kenya, which is the fabric that binds us together as a nation. The situation cannot hold for long. There is need for immediate action to rescue the nation from further deterioration.
Central Regional Police Commissioner Frederick Shisia has defended the police against the alleged killing of suspected robbers in Murang'a. Shisia says the suspects were caught up in a crossfire between the police and fellow gang members as they were heading to show the police their hideout in the Kinyona forest, where they hid two guns snatched from police officers during the Unitas Bank heist on Saturday in Kigumo, Murang'a County. Archie Matomona now reports.
Central Kenya Regional Commissioner Frederick Shisia took time to put records straight on the controversial death of two robbery suspects who were captured alive and their images posted online on the DCI Twitter handle, and later the dead on the same account. According to Shisia, the two were part of a criminal gang that hit the Munungu Bank branch Saturday and made away with cash and two guns from the police officers who were guarding the banking. He later added that the police arrested the two and recovered the cash and asked the suspect to reveal where they had hidden the stolen guns.
And in the process, they had to go back to the forest, to assist the officers trace, because they confided in the officers that they knew where the firearms were and they were inside the forest.
Archie Matomona, Skyfall TV, Nyeri County.
And Azimio One Kenya supporters in Kisumu City are today engaged in a mock demonstration ahead of next week's mass action to be staged in Nairobi. Now the Raila-led movement has planned a major demonstration for 20th March in Nairobi, which will also involve company boycotts, strikes, and sit-in government offices. Our reporter Esther Musomba visited the grounds, and here is the full report.
Things are quite hot here as the protesters are trying everything possible to get an access into Kisumu State House, only to be blocked by the police and security personnel who are manning the area. The protesters are being led by Kisumu Central MP Mheshimiwa Owor. They are trying to chance their freedom way, saying that they are ready and geared up for the 20th March that is next week, since they've been called and asked to avail themselves by the Azimio One leader Raila Amolo Odinga for the stage and planned demonstration that is supposed to be there. Esther Musomba, Skyfall TV, Kisumu.
Now it appears that the much talked about multi-billion Arrow and Kimorel dams are set to bounce back after the Kenyan and Italian government agreed to revive them and remove bottlenecks that have hampered their construction. This is after President William Ruto held talks with visiting Italian President Sergio Mattarella and agreed to jumpstart the projects together with the Itaya Dam in Nakuru County. Several cases are pending in court regarding the construction of the multi-billion dams, and as Michael Motua now reports, if all goes well, then the projects will commence in a few months' time.
The construction of Itare Dam in Nakuru County, Error and Kimwarel in Elgeyo Marakwet are set to resume, following talks that were held Tuesday morning at State House by President William Ruto and his Italian counterpart Sergio Mattarella. The Italian president arrived in Kenya on Monday for a 4-day visit.
We have agreed that the restart of this projects is not only urgent, it is priority, it is necessary because it's going to supply water to many towns in Nakuru County.
According to President William Ruto, Kenya and the Italian government have agreed to withdraw cases in court to enable the dam project to resume.
We, as the government of Kenya, are going to withdraw the cases filed against the companies, and the government of Italy and the contractors are also going to withdraw the arbitration cases.
Mutua Michael, Skyfall TV, State House, Nairobi.
Now, the weatherman is projecting heavy rainfall in several parts of the country after a prolonged dry season. Farmers are, however, encouraged to go for short maturing crop varieties, with the weatherman predicting depressed rainfall within the March-April-May rainy season, which may not be adequate for agriculture. Alan Mulei spoke to Dr. Richard Muita from the Kenya Meteorological Department, who says that the rains may not be able to phase out the impact of the prolonged drought quickly, with hopes resting on an El Nino event predicted to happen later this year. Here now is that report.
In a 5-day forecast which ran from 14th to 18th March 2023, the Meteorological Department has predicted rainfall in East Rift Valley, West Rift Valley, Lake Victoria Basin, South Rift Valley, Central Rift Valley, coast, as well as the northeastern and northwestern Kenya with isolated storms. According to Dr. Muita, the Assistant Director, Climate Services, Research and Development at the Institute of Meteorological Training and Research, it may take longer for the rains to cover up for the impact of the dry weather condition.
Areas in central Kenya, we are likely to see that. Even in some areas that are traditionally dry, even in areas like northern Kenya, like Turkana County, Samburu County, like Kipia, and even western Kenya, we would still expect some days that we would get some storms.
Alan Mulei reporting for Skyfall TV, Nairobi.
Let's look at business. And the government maintains that the plan to procure fuel under a government-to-government agreement is for the benefit of the country. Speaking while appearing before the Energy Committee, Energy and Petroleum CS Davis Chirchir defended the move and reiterated that it will ease the demand for dollars and reduce spreading fuel shortages. Here is Irene Njeri with the report.
The Departmental Committee on Energy quizzed the Energy Cabinet Secretary over the new government model of oil importation. Many wanted to first understand whether this will impact the price of fuel, but the CS insisted that the move to G2G framework was geared towards managing the shortage of the US dollar in the Kenyan market. Further, the MPs inquired whether the government will be carrying forward the challenge of which the consumers will eventually pay for dearly. KBC and regulator APRA to make sure that enough dollars are collected within the 6 months to pay the debt.
Will this G2G, or the main intention is to give us continuity of supply, or it was to ease, or it was intended also to reduce the cost of fuel?
Being a credit facility arrangement, are there interest charged? Loaded? Are there interest margins loaded on the price, on the cost?
Irene Njeri, reporting for Skyfall TV.
That's all we had for you tonight. Thank you so much for joining us.
Make sure you tune in tomorrow and keep the conversation ongoing on our social media platforms. But for the moment, from the newsroom, we wish you a good night.